How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Donald J. Trump officially being impeached by a vote in the House today, which is Wednesday, December the 18th, 2019. Now, of course, the vote was among party lines, very partisan. You pretty much had all Democrats vote to impeach. There were a handful of Democrats that did not vote to impeach the president, but it doesn't really matter. All that you need in the House is a simple majority to impeach the president, and that's what you had today. Now, people are kind of confused about this online. They're saying, hey, the president was impeached, so that means he gets kicked out of office, right? I mean, it's got to be going on today or tomorrow or next week. He shouldn't be in the office anymore, and then Mike Pence should come in his place. Well, that's not how this works. You still have one more step to go. When the House votes to impeach the president, at that point, it gets moved to the Senate. They vote to see if the president is guilty of the articles of impeachment that the House gave him. In this particular case, the House gave them 2 articles of impeachment. That include obstruction of Congress and abuse of power. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a Rhodes Scholar over here. But last time I checked, there was not a crime that correlated with abuse of power or obstruction of Congress. If you know the particular crime you can get locked up for as it relates to what I just mentioned, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, you let me know in the comments below. To get the president impeached, it says in the Constitution, he must be guilty of bribery, treason, and or high crimes and misdemeanors. Now, I don't see a high crime, misdemeanor, or any kind of other crime in what I just mentioned, let alone bribery and treason. The Democrats wanted to get him on bribery and treason for this whole Ukraine kerfuffle, but they were not able to do it. So the next question I'm seeing online is, okay, if they can't get him out of office due to this impeachment vote and we still got some time to go, then what are we really doing? Why is this happening? Well, I'm glad that you asked. This is the Democrats trying to repeal the election results of 2016. They don't like the president. They hate his guts. And a lot of them campaigned on this. People like Rashida Tlaib, we're going to impeach the mother effer. Maxine Waters on day one said, we're going to get him out of office. We're going to impeach him. This was before the whole Russia kerfuffle got into full swing with an investigation. This is before the whole Ukraine situation. This is before he became the president. There was a plan set in motion to do anything in their power to get him out of office. The first thing was the sexual assault allegations, the Access Hollywood tape. That didn't really go anywhere. Then they tried to say he's a racist, bringing up Central Park 5 and some lawsuits from the 1970s with housing discrimination. That didn't go anywhere. Then they tried to have this whole Russia interference kerfuffle. That didn't go anywhere. They spent 2.5 years, $40 million with an M dollars, 500 subpoenas, and got a big fat nothing burger with extra lettuce, mayo, and tomato. They didn't get anything as a result of that. So they've exhausted all their options. What are they going to do now? Okay, here's a quote unquote questionable phone call with Ukraine. We're going to just latch onto that and say he was trying to bribe the Ukrainian president with withholding aid money to investigate Joe Biden. So we're going to just twist that whole phone call and make it into an impeachable offense. And that's where we are right now today. Why are they doing it even though there's no real evidence that they did anything? Like I said, they're trying to get him out of office. And also, in this context right now, 2019, there's an election happening next year. And they want to get him out of office that way, if not through impeachment. And they can make him look bad to the public by doing the impeachment. The average person does not understand that impeachment does not mean removal. Impeachment just means we're on one particular step of a multi-step process. You have the impeachment inquiry that's done by the House. And then if they say, okay, there's enough here to impeach him or get some kind of articles of impeachment drawn up, they draw up articles of impeachment. That goes to the House to vote on. If they approve that, then they say, okay, let's have an impeachment vote. If they vote for impeachment, then it goes to the Senate. The Senate says, okay, we're going to review the articles of impeachment that they gave us, and then we're going to see if it's enough to convict him and get him removed from office. We're at the stage of sending it to the Senate, and that's it. Nothing else. They don't have anybody right now in the 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful pool to become the next president that's really a viable candidate, truly. The highest polling candidate they have right now is Joe Biden, and half the time, he does not know if he's coming or going. That is not a strong candidate. Hillary Clinton, quite frankly, is stronger than everybody on the stage right now, or at least she was back in 2016. If you compare Hillary Clinton 2016 strength to every person that's on the Democratic side right now running for president, her strength outdoes theirs by a long shot. She looks better than Joe Biden, even though she was coughing and stumbling and bumbling. She looked better than Joe Biden, had a better record. She was a better candidate than anybody that's on stage right now and still lost. So how are you going to beat the incumbent with stronger numbers, proven economy, does what he says, more support from minority communities? How are you going to beat that with weaker candidates? Here's a solution. Impeach him. Get him out of office that way. Engage in dirty politics. That's what they want to do right now, is dirty politics, because they can't win fair and square in an election. It's really just that simple. Ain't nothing else to it. So what you're going to see next is the Senate trial, and that's going to be fun. You could have one of two things that happen. Mitch McConnell and the Republicans could just say, all right, we're going to dismiss the charges. We have enough votes. We have the majority in the Senate. Nobody on our side is going to vote to remove the president. You got to have 20 of us to remove him. It's not going to happen. So we can just say, all right, charges dismissed and have no trial. Or we could say we're going to acquit, which could mean that we have a trial and we call witnesses. How you feel about Joe Biden coming to the stand? How do you feel about Hunter Biden coming to the stand? How do you feel about some of these deep state operatives, your Jerry Nadler, your Adam Schiff, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi? How you feel about them coming to the stand during the impeachment trial? It'd be crazy. And at the end of it, you'll have an acquittal for Donald Trump, and it'll just make him stronger. He'll go out there on the campaign trail and talk about how he's been victimized by the left, by the deep state. It'll be a valid point. Everybody knew what the result was going to be before the actual impeachment process happened. So what was the point in doing it? He'll talk about that, how they were trying to embarrass him, how they were trying to diminish him, how they were trying to overturn the election to go against the will of the American people that voted for Donald J. Trump. It doesn't matter if the people are Democrat, Republican, politically agnostic, whatever it is. He'll say that a Democratic Party tried to attack you, and that is the case. They know there's not enough there. They know they can't really get the Republicans in the Senate to go against them. So the only point behind this is to make Trump look bad for the 2020 presidential election, and that's it. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And that's pretty much all I got. What say you? Do you think that the Senate will vote to remove the president? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Do you think that the Senate will not remove the president? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Was this video informative? Did you learn something? A lot of people just don't know. I'm not judging anybody. People just don't really understand. They don't have time to get into politics. They watch TV and then they're spinning things one kind of way. They're leaving out important information. They're making this particular part of the process be bigger than it is. Is it a big part of the process? Yes, but it's not the only part of the process. There is much more to come. And I implore you to tell anybody that you can about this. Impeachment does not equal removal. This is just one part of the process. Now we got to go to the Senate, and then they got to say if they're going to kick him out of office or not. In order to have that happen, you got to have 20 Republicans that come out and say, get him out of office. If you did not have one that voted for the impeachment inquiry, and there is nothing new that has been learned since the impeachment inquiry, then why would any more than the zero that voted for the impeachment inquiry vote to remove him, which is obviously much more serious than the inquiry? All these votes are public. They got to go back to their constituents that voted for Trump and say, hey, I kicked our president out of office because of what? Nothing really. It'd be the end of their career. There'll be a disgrace to the nation and the whole world. Everybody will see it. It will not happen. This is a sham. This is a kangaroo court. This is 2020 voter obstruction. The Democratic Party ought to be ashamed of themselves. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.